Hey everybody, it's been a very chatty few days as we're nearing the end of Mercury retrograde. Well, I wanted to share a story about my interaction with Santa Muerte and lights, and I've actually spoken to quite a few people that have had the same experience. Well, I'm going to admit that it has been a while since I've done a rosary with her. I did one last night, and I wanted to use the necklaces that are already made, the rosaries that are already made, that are hanging on the statue, right? It makes sense, it's logical. Well, that's not the case. That didn't happen. I had to just recite the prayers without a rosary. The reason I say that didn't happen is because it was midnight. You know, it was dark in here other than the light of the candles. And like I said, it had been over a year since I'd recited the rosary. I know, bad on me. I know. Well, now we're going to make a habit of it. But anyway, so it was dark, and that's why I bought this little lamp. It was only $2 at Dollar General. And as you can see, it turns on, no problem. Nothing wrong with it. Brand new batteries. Brand new. See? Well, as soon as I turned it on, it stayed on. It was fine. I had it placed over here on the white side of the altar, and I start groping at this necklace that's hanging down, the big one, and it starts flickering, and it'll go almost completely off, dim, and then brighten up again, and just flicker at random tempos, just random patterns, you know, no pattern in particular. And I'm thinking to myself, I just changed the batteries, it's a brand new light, I know it works, what the heck, you know? And I'm like, I was like, maybe she doesn't want me to use the rosary that she has on her statue. So, the old school ghost hunter in me remembers an episode of Ghost Hunters where they used a very lightly covered flashlight that they unscrewed the bottom, and they kind of left the bottom open to where a little tap would enable the battery to make contact again. So what they would do is they would ask yes and no questions, and if the ghost wanted to answer yes, it would flicker. If the ghost wanted to answer no, it would stay on. You know, it was either flicker or stay on, which meant yes or no. So I was like, let me just try a little experiment. You know, what's the harm? So I have this light set over here. The camera frame just skipped a little. I had this light set over here, and I asked, okay, flicker for no, stay on for yes. Can I use your necklace for the rosary? This flicker, like crazy, flickering, you know? And I was like, well, okay, that makes sense, because as most people report, and as I have personally experienced, once it goes on the altar, for the most part, that's hers. It's not yours, it's hers. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do this rosary just reciting prayers, and that's fine, because it'll help me to memorize everything, the layout. So I was like, okay. So I'm going to post a video that I actually took after I was done asking her questions of just the light flickering. People will report that this happens on their altar as a sign that she's there, you know? And it got me thinking about when a fellow devotee sent me lights like this, the string LED lights that have a battery pack attached. They sent me some really beautiful roses. And they asked me to put them around the altar, and I did. Well, I remember when I was trying to meditate with her, trying to hone in on her energy, that the lights would flicker. And I started thinking, oh, the batteries are going out. You know, there's something wrong with the batteries. And so I changed the batteries. And next time over, I go and I try to do it again. They start flickering. And it only ever has happened at night. Okay? So I'm having back problems from the mattress that I'm sleeping on. And I sleep on the couch and I leave the lights on. And I look over and they're flickering. I'm like, what the heck? So they had two settings. One was like a stay on, and one was a timer. And then of course one was off. There was no setting that said, you know, blink or anything like that. So I was like, interesting. And there was another instance where I wanted to put Halloween lights around the altar space, and they looked really tacky. I took them down like almost immediately. They were part purple, part green. So I did them kind of like in a little house shape, you know, around the altar, and it looked really bad. So I left them up for a few days and then took them off. But I swear to you, I got no reason to lie. As soon as I plugged them in, they stayed on. It gave me enough opportunity to look and see how they would kind of look, you know. It was around dusk, so I could sort of kind of see how they would look at night. And I was like, nah, they don't look that good. So I start to think out loud, and I start to ask her, I was like, do you like the way that looks? I think it looks kind of tacky. And the lights start blinking. And I'm like, that can't be from a battery because that's plugged into the wall. But they were just flickering, like, and I just got this impression, like, agreeing with me, like, yeah, this shit looks bad, take it down, that looks really bad. And I was like, okay, so I took them down. So that was another instance where the lights were flickering. I have yet to hear anybody report on this, but then again, they haven't really gone out to too many people, but my husband came up with this idea. And it's kind of like a transparent type statue of her that he molded himself. And he super glued it to a LED light. And we was joking about it, and I was saying, you know, if you're afraid of the cucuy, which is the Spanish word for like monster, it's something that we all grew up with as kids. You know, if you did something bad, the cucuy was going to get you, you know, or if you were a bad kid, the cucuy was going to get you at night, or if you're out late, the cucuy's going to get you. So I was like, if you're scared of the cucuy, you can take your Santa Muerte light with you and she'll protect you. But, yeah, I was like, I want to try and experiment with this and see if it works. See if this will flicker. I want to try it one night at night. And this one is a little bit more clear. Well, it's clear, you know, but it's the same concept. It's, you know, lights up and you can see all the little details. I painted some, but I didn't paint the other ones because I thought, well, if I paint the face and stuff like that, then you can't see through the face. Maybe some people want to see the outline of the eyes and all that other stuff, so I didn't paint it. So, yeah, and it comes with a little removable scythe. A little bit of shameless promotion here. But, yeah, I wanted to do these, more specifically the clear, you know, and have them as like little lamps, little night lights, you know. And we all know, as devotees, she loves lights on her altar. She likes a certain amount of bling, you know, on her altar. So, I'm going to try that and see if they blink. But with my luck, knowing good and well that I'm trying a little experiment with her, she'll probably not do anything. But yeah, also I wanted to mention last night when I was doing the rosary that I haven't done in a long time, I look over at this statue, right here, the white one, and I swear, her face starts to shift and she starts giggling, like smiling. Like you can sort of kind of see it right now, a little bit. I can't zoom in because it's a forward-facing camera. But I just got this impression like she's giggling, like giddy, happy, you know? The other two, not so much. The other two are just like, meh. But the white one, I looked over at the statue and I was doing the Hail Marys. I was like, Hail Mary, full of grace, you know. And I look over and I just see like the face kind of doing this, like giggling and like kind of hunched over, like hee, you know, like this. And I'm like, Hail Mary, full of grace. I'm like cracking up. I'm like, man, the neighbors must think I'm freaking crazy, you know. I'm over here laughing, saying Hail Marys and Glory Bees. And so I'm over here, every time I turn over and I'm saying a Hail Mary, it never fails. Whenever I'm saying a Hail Mary, I look over at her and I just see this face like giggling, and I'm like, like giggling to myself. And then I look over to the red one, it's just like straight face. I'm like, Our Father who art in heaven. And I look over at the black one, it's just like meh, and it's like glory be, blah, blah, you know. But I look back at the white one, and it's like giggling. But yeah. So I just wanted to mainly share the instances with the lights. Maybe you guys can try that little experiment. Of course, ask for permission first. Nobody likes being a guinea pig. But yeah, try it out. You know, put like a little night light, or put, you know, like one of these little strings, these LED strings with the batteries around your altar, or, you know, just a little lamp or something, battery operated or plugged into the wall. Just always be careful of fire safety, guys. So yeah, try it and see what happens. And if it does start to blink, ask her if you can do yes and no questions. This could be a new form of divination. Thank you, ghost hunters. But yeah, give it a shot and see if it works. I think that's I don't think that I really have to go over anything else. It was just really funny the way that this statue's face started changing. Like, I personally, you know, I believe that it's all one spirit, you know, but like with many spirits, you know, one spirit can take different forms, come off different ways to different people, you know. So in this case, and I'm not trying to push an agenda here, but in this case, it almost felt like it was that lighter side of her that wanted me to do the rosary. The more earthly and the more raw, underworldy one was like, psh. Now that's just my opinion, you know. That's how I think. But yeah, that's about it for now. I've got spectators. I'll talk to you later.